International players are really hit or miss when it comes to the NBA draft. We've seen Luka Doncic burst into the scene this past season with MVP performances. But could Killian Hayes be the next overseas star? Let's dive into it. Killian Hayes is a 6'5" guard from France but was born in Lakeland, Florida. He is son of American basketball player Darren Hayes, who played at Penn State in the early 1990s but played overseas for most of his career. When Killian was 1, his family moved to France when his father continued to play in the LNB Pro A, which was the country's top league. Growing up, Killian played basketball at an early age, facing older opponents. Hayes watched highlights of basketball games on YouTube to pick up new moves and draw inspiration. Being born in Lakeland and living in France, for Killian, basketball is what bridged his two worlds. He spent the school year in France playing with kids 1 or 2 divisions ahead of his age group, and then he'd spend the summer in Florida picking up American moves and pick up basketball in Lakeland and Orlando. Hayes always wanted to play high school and college basketball in the United States for one of the blue blood schools like Kentucky or Kansas, but his dad told him that turning pro in Europe would be better for him. Growing up in the American basketball system, Darren knew how Americans taught the game, and thought it would be best for Killian to stay in Europe, where he would be prepared to be a professional from an early age. And Killian trusted his dad and stayed the course. Eventually, the trust paid off. In April of 2017, Killian was invited to New York to the Jordan Brand Classic International, and he won co-MVP after getting 13 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, and 5 steals. In August, he picked up another MVP award in the FIBA Europe Under-16 Championship. He averaged almost 17 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals per game, while leading France to the gold medal. In October of that year, after just turning 16, he made his Pro A debut with the Cholet senior team in France. He played in 9 games, averaging 9 minutes a game with 2 points and 1 assist. But even though Killian didn't get much playing time his first year, he gained a lot of pro experience. Before the 2018-19 season, Killian signed a 3-year contract with the Cholet team after considering other European teams. But the season got off to a rocky start. Cholet was blown out in his first game and lost his first 4 games and found itself in last place 2 months into the season, and then they fired their coach in November. Killian thought he made a mistake by coming back to the team with so much change earlier in the year, but a former coach was brought in to steer the team away from total disaster, and Killian ended up with solid stats for the year. He averaged 7 points and 3 assists in almost 20 minutes. He also showed in some games that he can be the guy on the team, one game even scoring 17 points, getting 5 rebounds and 5 steals. During the 2018 and 2019 seasons, Killian played in the Basketball Without Borders game, where many scouts were on hand to see him play. In 2018, he was hurt for the game, but in 2019, he performed and made it clear that he was going to be a first-round draft prospect in the 2020 draft. Some even saw him as a lottery pick. At 6'5", with a tight handle, sharp vision, and eagerness to absorb contact on his way to the rim, it's no wonder why. But they did have some questions about his shooting, saying that it was still a work in progress and that he tends to over-dribble. They even said his style of play was more American than it was French. For the 2019-20 season, Killian transferred to the German club Ratio Farm in the BBL League, which is the top league in Germany, and in the Euro Cup, where he had an opportunity to be a starter and show NBA teams that he'll be ready for his American debut. He only played 10 games in the Euro Cup due to the coronavirus, but for Ratio Farm he averaged almost 13 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds, and almost 2 steals, shooting 45% from the field and 39% from 3. Killian also played 20 games for Ratio Farm in the BBL League, averaging 25 minutes per game, 11.6 points, 5.3 assists, and 1.4 steals, while shooting 49% from the field, but 21% on threes and 85% on free throws. After the season was suspended in March, Killian and his family moved back to Lakeland, where he declared for the NBA draft. When scouts look at Killian Hayes, they think of Spencer Dinwiddie and D'Angelo Russell. Russell is the one that stands out to me, being that both are 6'5", both were known for their passing and elite court vision, and both were not coming into the NBA for being underrated athletes. But Russell was a great shooter coming into the NBA, while scouts still have questions about Hayes' work-in-progress jumper. Even though he averaged 39% from 3 in a small sample size of 10 games this past season in the Euro Cup, but it looks like Killian's shot has improved immensely. He also has a good shooting form and good touch from the free throw line, so I think he will be fine in the NBA. The variance of opinion scouts have on Killian is crazy. Some say he's a clear-cut top 5 pick, while others said they wouldn't think of him to the middle of the first round. It's going to be interesting to see where he lands on draft day. I think Killian will be a good fit in Detroit at 7, being that they are so desperate for a point guard and for young star potential in that city, and I think it will be an easy transition for Killian coming into a team with low expectations. I can also see the New York Knicks at 8 for the star potential factor, but he will have higher expectations going into New York. His draft range is 4 through 14, with his most likely landing spots being the New York Knicks, the Phoenix Suns, and the Detroit Pistons. I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you got all the way to the end, I really rock with you. If you got all the way here, definitely hit that like and subscribe button for more content, and definitely let me know who you would like to see next. And I'm out. Peace.